Well, developing tonight, we are getting new reports that one of the roughest Mexican drug cartels has reportedly been hiring one of the most ruthless gangs in America to kidnap and torture those who cross them inside the United States. Trace Gallagher has the details now from our West Coast Bureau. Trace.
And Megan, as stunning as it is to find out that the brutal Sinaloa cartel has set up a very lucrative drug trade in the Midwest in Minnesota, 1,800 miles from the Mexican border, the unique part about this is the cartel isn't using its own enforcers. Instead, it's hiring members of the MS-13 gang that originated here in Los Angeles and has tens of thousands of members who are in the U.S. illegally. In this case, police say 3 MS-13 gang members flew from California to Minnesota, kidnapped 2 teenagers who the cartel believed had stolen 30 pounds of meth and $200,000. The teens were taken to a stash house, tied up and tortured for 2 days. The criminal complaint says, quoting here, they cut victim number 2's left pinky finger with a pair of scissors. All participated in holding victim number 2 down during the attempt to amputate his finger. Victim number 2 passed out during that portion of the incident. The teens were eventually let go, but not before the lives of their family members were threatened if they talked. Now, because of witnesses who saw the kidnapping, the FBI pounced, arresting 2 of the 3 MS-13 suspects. Now, they could lead the feds up the cartel food chain, but it could also lead to payback. Here's the DEA. Listen.
Someone's going to pay the piper that screwed this up. So clearly, there's going to be some repercussions to that part of the organization. Remember, that's the way they regulate themselves, through violence.
Through violence, one of Mexico's most brutal cartels now in cahoots with one of America's most dangerous street gangs. Megan.
That's chilling. Trace, thank you. These same reports say that when the Department of Justice released its version of what happened to those teens in Minnesota, it left out any mention of the Mexican cartel connection in the MS-13 violent gang. Dennis Michael Lynch is an investigative documentary filmmaker and producer of the film They Come to America, and also They Come to America Too. Dennis, good to see you. Why would the DOJ leave out the connection to the Mexican cartel in their official press release on this case?
My take, right now you have a lot of people pushing for immigration reform, which ties to border security, and border security is a must. For the borders to be secure would mean no more drugs would be coming into this country, right? When I worked with the Border Patrol in my films, we caught about 40 guys at one run. All of them look like, you know, the kind of guys you might see doing day labor or whatever it may be. You pick up their T-shirt, more than half of them are part of gangs. That's why.
This isn't surprising to you, this connection between the drug cartels and MS-13 drugs here?
There are, let me give you some stats, there are approximately 1.4 million gang members in the U.S. in 33,000 different gangs. 50% of all violent crimes in the country come from gangs. You're talking about a $20 billion drug business. You don't do that by having fly-by-night guys all around. This is a well-ran engine covering about 1,200 cities across the country.
It's not well, you think of this, you know, the gangs as an LA problem largely. This is Minnesota.
Oh, no, it's moved all across, Megan. I mean, Atlanta is overrun. It's everywhere. 1,200 different cities in the country, big cities, small cities. If the American people knew this sort of thing, they would demand that those borders be closed tomorrow, and there would never be anything talked about some sort of amnesty or path to citizenship. Do you know that the DHS has told ICE that if they were to stop somebody for any sort of crime, and that person says, you know, I'm a dreamer, I went to high school, they have to release them. They don't have to give any documentation. You don't have to give your report card or what your grade point average was. You're just released. So the drug cartels and the gang members are using this now as a way of getting out of their crimes.
This is troubling. This report is really disturbing. Dennis, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Well, coming up, a group of Senate candidates come under fire for their service